welcome to another episode of the Grow Your Occupancy podcast.
This episode of the Grow Your Occupancy podcast is sponsored by Model 55. Model 55 provides turnkey model apartment and design solutions for senior living communities, combining quick nationwide service with deep expertise in creating model apartments. Model 55's designs are more than just aesthetically pleasing. They are strategically designed to drive occupancy and sales. From custom designs to ready-to-ship kits, Model 55 has solutions for any budget. For more information, www.model55.com. That's model55.com.
I'm Julie Podewitz, CEO and founder, and today we have a very special guest, Marilyn Breed.
Thank you, Julie. It's a pleasure to be here and hear what you have to say.
Well, it's more importantly, Marilyn, what you have to say. I know our listeners are very eager to learn. Marilyn is a resident in independent living, and the community that she lives in has all levels of care, right? It's a CCRC.
All levels of care, right?
Yeah. So Marilyn, tell us just a little bit about you and your background. I mean, you've got such a wonderful life story.
This is a CCRC.
Yeah.
They know that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, CCRC, and she's in the independent living.
That's right. Okay, and the next question was what?
Tell us a little bit about you and your background.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was 20 years at Stony Brook in Sarasota. Wonderful. The best years of my life. Because it was freedom, it was fun. We played lots of tennis. I was on a team and we played golf, and it was stimulating. We went to the opera and to the wonderful Florida Studio Theater.
Oh yeah.
And all the plays, and I was ushering all the time, so I could get that free. And I was busy till 11 o'clock at night, and I came home by myself, and it didn't bother me one bit. So yeah, that was great fun. And it's a wonderful place to live. Sarasota has tremendous culture. And so I really enjoyed being 20 years there. I was in a condo.
Okay.
And independent living. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Marilyn, sounds like you had a great time there. What was it that sort of got you thinking about making a change, needing maybe some independent living or some extra support?
Well, I was
services?
a big skier, and I broke my ankle. I skied all over, and I was this was about 8 years ago.
Okay.
So I didn't have any accidents until then, and I think your bones begin to tell the tale. So that's what got me thinking it would be nice to be in a place where you could go from independent living to a health center and to get all your rehab right there, which I think is extraordinary about this place. Because my operation, the last one, was for my hip, and I was 91, and so I just had a doctor's hospital, Sarasota, and yet I had right going into the health center, and it was all my friends could come see me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you need to think of that when you consider what you're going to do. But I did really research it very carefully. And for 3 years, I went to visit all the different senior centers, and you have to decide what you can afford.
So you're amazing, Marilyn. So let me take you back to the time when you had your ski accident.
Yeah.
And then you were thinking, well, maybe I should start researching options for future. Maybe I might, need to have a little bit more.
Some help,
And you thought about this for 3 years.
Yes.
Can you talk to us about what are some of the things that you were considering? Like you must have looked at a lot of places.
I did, but around here, you see, I really, well, I would have liked to have gone back to the Boston area, but
Did you look
Well,
in
I had
Boston?
20 years of marvelous time here in a place called Stony Brook, which is right in Sarasota.
Yeah,
And I couldn't have had a better 20 years. And it was wonderful friends. And I didn't want to go too far away from that because
Sure.
then they can still come see
sure,
me.
sure. So you
and
made a
I'll-
lot of friends.
yeah,
What
yeah.
else? What
Oh,
else
well,
were you
it's the
looking for?
culture. It's that's the thing that I really try to stress, that will keep you alive and you can learn so much if you just open your mind and try to do new things and say, well, I'll give that a try. And so I started a book club. I did a lot in Stony Brook in Sarasota, and I started a book club in 2001 when, as soon as I came, I did that, and it's still going.
That's
I'm
awesome.
very happy about
That's
that.
awesome.
And they still send me all the material and what they're doing, so I follow along.
So what else were you, when you were looking at places?
Looking
What,
ahead.
yeah, tell us just a little bit about what you liked, what you didn't like. You know, what if somebody was in the position of touring you around the community, what could they do that's really good, and what was not good?
Well, I think if you're a marketing person, you have to tell it like it is, but you can save you a few secrets if you, and not tell all. But I think the main thing people are looking for is openness and honesty and friendships, and not a lot of glossy stuff. I mean, I go for more down to earth things.
So someone who would listen to you and connect with
Yeah.
you and not be
No, not just try to make me stay there. What are you looking for? You say, well, I mean, this is what I'm looking for.
Sure.
You know, the different things to learn. And like here in Venice, there's a wonderful art center, and you can take classes and learn. And you may have never painted before, but you can do that. And then we have a good community center. And of course, Sarasota has the opera and the wonderful Florida Studio Theater. And, that's just all geared to seniors. And then
a great place to live.
Yeah.
So you wanted to be near
all the
that
cultural
culture.
things.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't want to be off in the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And could I ask you, during this time, 3 years is a while, right?
Yeah.
It's a while to think about it. Did you have any like the marketers from the communities, did they stay in touch with you? Did they communicate with you?
Well, oh yes, they would.
They did.
They wanted to get the money first. You have to put down probably $1,000 to get your name on the list. That's very important to get their name right away. Because
you first have to decide where you want to go.
well, yes, but you can also say, "Oh, I like this place, but I also like this." And as long as you don't have a few thousand,
right? To put. So when you say they kept in touch with you because they wanted the money, do you feel like that's the only reason that they stayed in touch?
No, I don't mean it just for the money, but they do have to have a list.
Sure. Well,
and then you have to be able to graduate up on the list, but sometimes it's 3 and 4 years.
So did they, what kind of communication did they?
Well, they would call me and say, how are you doing? Have you thought about it? And are there some things that you like about our place?
Okay.
And, that sort of thing.
And what did you think about that? Them staying in touch?
There were different places. I'm thinking back. One was very small, and that's very lovely. That can be very nice. You get to know everyone. Or you could have a place near the water, and that's wonderful for me. I love to be near the water and boats and things like that. And then I'm thinking of church-based place where I was interested in. But see, I really don't like high rises. I don't like long corridors. It's hard because some of the older places have just that, but it doesn't bother some people. It's just that I particularly don't like to look way down the road and see.
So now you don't like high rises. So you don't like high rises, but you're on the 4th floor.
Yeah.
So what was it about the place that you chose that was that kind of, you overcame the fact you don't really like a high rise, right?
Yeah, I know, but don't forget that when I first put my name in, there was nothing here.
Okay.
And I put my name in because I couldn't get into any of the other buildings, even to put my name down, and they were full. But also I would have had to move twice and stay in one of the very small
Oh,
place,
okay.
900 square feet. And these were lovely, brand new, hurricane proof, all, and you know, it wasn't that far from where I used to live.
Okay.
So that always very important to me, and be able to have my friends come down and.
So having
So-
friendships and
Yeah,
yeah.
and you know, you have to think of that, how you respond. You know, and I make friends easily, but some people don't.
Mhm.
But leave the door open and you'll make friends.
leave your apartment door open.
Yeah.
I told my daughter that at the dorm last year. I said, keep your door open.
Yeah.
And
Where
people
is
looked at
she?
it. She's at Florida State
Oh, I
in
see.
Tallahassee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she loves it.
She does.
She
it.
does.
Yeah.
She does. So what would you say, Marilyn? You love to learn and
Yeah.
you love to do things, which I love. What have you learned or done since you've moved in here that you'd never done before?
Well, I wanted to do all the things I did in Stony Brook. I wanted to start a book club, but you get in a place like this and they already have one, and then it's usually in their own apartment, so there's no room for other people. So
Oh.
I think it's nice I go to the library. I love libraries, and I know the young people, you know, you use your computer. But I like being with other people, and I like to hear their ideas on books and what's current. And that's, you know, so I joined the Venice Library right
So
away.
you did.
Yeah.
What book do you recommend?
Well, I
something-
like historical novels, and I like Doris Kearns Goodwin, and I like McCulloch.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
David
wonderful,
McCullough.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And well, I like all things. I'm not big on mysteries. It gets me up at night and it bothers me. So never mind.
Do you like trying to figure it out when you're reading the mystery, or do you just kind of let the story go?
No, I let the story.
You do. You let it
Yeah.
go.
No,
What about the food? How important was food?
Oh,
when you-
food is very important.
Did you eat meals at
Yes,
other
I
places?
did. I just ate
Okay.
a meal today.
And at the other places you were thinking about? Did you
Well,
try?
then I would cook. I love to cook. I love to have friends over, and I like to entertain, and but people don't do that so much. They're lazy, I think, very
Do you
lazy.
think so?
Yeah.
So do you have any advice for people selling senior living? Like, what could they do?
I think that's a good question
Okay.
and a good something for people to think about.
Okay.
Not only are the cultural things, is there a good person that will help the new people, that will give classes for the senior? Now, they say that they do here, but you know what? They are not that keen on really helping, and you need a one-to-one.
Okay, so like
Yeah.
offering how-tos
Yeah.
and maybe IT, working on the computer and one-to-one, maybe a suggestion box, like what do the
Yeah,
residents
we
want to
do
do?
that. Well, the suggestion box is more for finances.
Okay.
And which we all have to consider. But I mean, the technology, I think, next to the cultural things, do they offer good technology services?
Okay.
And what kind of services? Are they there with you? A new person needs a lot of help in the beginning, maybe 5 lessons or something, free, comes in with the group. And yeah,
Okay.
because this whole thing is expensive to buy these things.
Mhm.
And so but if you really want to learn, you'll persevere.
Who helped you move in to this
Nobody,
place?
I did it myself. But you can have people, oh no, I see what you mean. Well,
Like
I had to have
moved
a
in.
moving company
So, right.
brought the furniture.
Okay.
And that's fine. It was a local
Okay.
moving company.
Did somebody help you coordinate
No, I
everything?
can do that myself.
You do it all
I'm good
yourself.
at organizing, but they do have very good services for other people. I guess if I had the money, I would have said, good, do it all. But, I don't have that much money, so I have to be very careful. And it's all right. I mean, I managed.
How long have you lived here?
About 2.5 years.
Oh, 2.5
Yeah,
years.
Not, yeah.
Okay.
Guess what? I moved in June of 2019, and I just dropped everything in the middle of the floor and left and went to Maine.
How long
That's
did-
where we have our little cottage in
Oh,
Maine.
so you spent the
So I
summer.
said, I'm not going to spend the summer unpacking. And I did that. So I suggest for other people, it's very good to have a moving service. It's very good to ask questions. But you know, we all bring too much stuff. And I have too much stuff now, but you notice I don't have any sofas and things, but I like an open feeling,
This
but
is
not
beautiful.
everyone likes it either. So then, you know, you have to really have in your mind's eye what it's like to be in these rooms, you know. And
So you have to visit
Yeah,
and look around.
yeah.
Yeah.
and thinks, well, where would my furniture fit? Or,
Right.
you know,
Right.
that kind of thing.
So let me ask you one last question. You said you thought about this for 3 years. What was it that finally made you decide, yes, I'm going to move after 3 years? Like, was there an
that had to
incident?
move?
Something happened
No,
or
no, it wasn't I didn't have the accident really at that point, but you know, well, you know, 20 years, you better think about getting to be 90.
So
I mean, no, I wasn't 90. No, I was, what, eight.
was there something
88.
that happened, or was it like, you know what, now's just the time?
Well, this was new. And
Okay.
so, and as I said, I didn't like the long corridors, and I knew, and I think it's important to think of the hurricane protection. And what was it? Well, you know, you have a little inkling of you
And you
better
just-
get going.
Gotcha. Gotcha. An inkling. Well,
And you
yeah.
better get your name in a place that you like. And I like being near the ocean, you know.
This is beautiful.
Near the
You have a
water.
beautiful place.
And
Beautiful.
for
Yeah.
me.
Mhm.
But I don't.
Yeah.
I just decided. Well, some of my other friends were moving too from Stony Brook in Sarasota. So, and then I had my job for 18 years. I worked in Van Wezel part-time, the whole time, and working with children's programs. And so, and that was, you know, I was getting a little older then, you know, you're not as keen on, well, working hard, killing yourself for 8 hours a day. You know,
Time for doing the things that you love.
Yeah, and having special time to play tennis. I love to play
And
tennis.
you like to play tennis.
And I was on a team, and so, you know, that took a lot. And I love to entertain. And so, you know, there was only so many hours in the day.
Yeah. Well, you got
And
lots to.
I guess I
fit
used
in.
to, I'd play for different things, you know, the fashion shows and things like that.
piano?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Marilyn plays the piano.
Yeah.
Would you play a little bit of piano
Not
for
really
us?
today.
No, not today.
No, I'll tell you what, because I really didn't play much because my hip bothered me so for 6 months, and
So it's
so
hard to
I haven't
sit.
really gotten back into it.
Yeah, it's hard to
Yeah.
sit and
Yeah, and I was 4 weeks in bed after my hip operation, which was just about 6 weeks ago. So that's not too bad. You know, I'm coming
you're doing
along,
great.
but I have to do
great.
lots of exercise. It takes time, and you know, so, and I'm a little impatient. I want to be well, and I want to, like everybody else is out doing all these things, and I want to be right with them.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, so Marilyn, you're going to tell us a little bit about your experience.
At that first place that we talked about.
Yeah, when you were shopping, when you were
Yeah.
looking at different
And you went
communities.
to look and they had.
Oh, the first place. Oh, yes.
Like, what did
It's
you
hard
like?
to not mention the names.
Yeah.
Well, it was small and intimate, and that was nice. But it didn't have enough cultural things.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's very
important.
important. I think that they need to have classes so that you learn, you know, about the world, and you need to be interested in things like that, because that makes you more.
Then you went down to that place down a little bit south of here. We're not gonna say the
Yeah.
name. But you didn't like it. They had long corridors
Yeah.
or.
Yeah,
They didn't have.
well, a lot of the places, that's the way they were built, and
Yeah.
I understand that.
So,
But here, I had to wait 2 years to
But-
get in this place.
Marilyn, you have to walk from here down and then across to here.
It's nothing.
Okay.
It takes
okay,
5 minutes.
Okay. so
But I
that's
mean, it's
about
been a
it.
little hard with my hip,
Yeah.
yes, but no,
Okay.
not,
What
I
about-
never,
Were you treated really well every place you went, or were you sometimes dismissed or thought you're not really serious, or they gave you the idea that maybe you wouldn't be right for that place, or you
No,
liked
they-
them, but they never called you back? Did they
no,
call
I
and
never
say
had
thank you?
that.
They all called you back.
Well, yeah, they're interested in getting your name down on the list. No, I made the decision.
I
They're not
know,
making the
but
decision.
How did you make that decision is
Uh,
what you're interested?
Well, I wanted a new place, more up to date, and I didn't want it to be too far from where I
Did
live.
you go any place where they really turned you off, where you thought, oh, no, this is not the place for me?
Well, I mean, it was not ever that bad. No, it's just that I really didn't want to be in these places quite yet, but I wanted to be looking and thinking, because you have to wait for sometimes 3 and 4 years to even get in. And so you better put your money in. And then you always get your money back. But I mean, you better be
Now,
thinking.
that may be true of places that we're talking about, but there are lots of places that there are plenty of openings.
Oh,
and
really?
People are really working hard
To get people in? Well, you
yes.
better be very careful that you know what you want.
Okay,
Yeah, and
that's-
back off, lady, I'll take a look, and I'm the one that's deciding. And you don't listen to
Very-
that high-priced
very
salesperson.
That's interesting. Yes, you don't want to be just sold
No,
like a used car.
like,
salesman.
this car insurance I just had, they want to sell me the ARP. Now, I like that, and I had it for many years, but I don't want that to be predicated on getting that particular insurance. And I am so mad that I'm going to drop their insurance. I am, and I'm going to another place on
Okay.
Monday. So I don't like to have that be
And have you been happy with your choice here?
yes, I am, but I think people need to liven up more. God, they're just, dragging.
I'm afraid it might be like that with,
I
you know
know.
how you go in and say, oh gosh, there's so many old people here.
Yeah, well, leave the door open. Come on, don't have everybody shut in. Come on in and have a cup of coffee. But you have to be that kind of a person too. I know that.
You are.
And, I like to have people, I like to find out about people, and I remember names. And names, the last name, so I can look it up in my book and see where they live. And I just that way.
As soon as you're better, you're going to be a big influence around here. Yes.
Well, yeah, well, if I want to last a little, I think I have something to give these last few years in my 90s.
Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Marilyn Breed, resident in independent living, and an incredible woman at any age. And yes, I love it. So thank you very much for listening to the Grow Your Occupancy podcast. I'm Julie Podewitz. You can learn more at growyouroccupancy.com or the BTG podcast. I am a monthly contributor on Wednesdays. Thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you, Julie. It was a pleasure.
This episode of the Grow Your Occupancy podcast is sponsored by Model 55. Model 55 provides turnkey model apartment and design solutions for senior living communities. Combining quick nationwide service with deep expertise in creating model apartments, Model 55's designs are more than just aesthetically pleasing. They are strategically designed to drive occupancy and sales. From custom designs to ready-to-ship kits, Model 55 has solutions for any budget. For more information, www.model55.com. That's model55.com.